So Radio Inchcombe, I'm very excited to introduce the Dark Destroyer on our show. So let's say hello to the legend that is Mr. Shaun Wallace. Hello.
Hello, Lewis. How you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm really good. Just doing a bit of revision at the moment.
So is that what you do in your spare time, just to kind of revise and make sure your knowledge is like 100%? Because you have probably the best memory ever. I don't know how you do it on the chase.
You know what? If you're interested in something, you're going to remember things. And that's, people ask me, where do you get this memory from? It's all about interest. And the more interested you are in something, the more you're going to remember it. So there's no real great secret to it. I'm no cleverer than anybody else.
I mean, I've got to say, by the way, your book is a fantastic read. And it's kind of great to see that different side to you. Because obviously we get to see the Dark Destroyer and the chase every week and that character. But the book itself, it kind of feels very humble, and from a very young age, you actually aspired to be a barrister. So what was it about the legal profession that kind of fed you so much passion?
I think you're far too young to remember, Lewis, but I think some of your more older listeners remember programs like Crown Court in the 70s and Ron Paul and the Bailey. So I used to, be passionate about and really fascinated to how people could use their skills and their sort of verbal ability to actually help people in court, and I just wanted to be like that. I really did.
And another thing which I was reading, which I found very tough to read, was that you were kind of told that you would never amount to anything by your teachers. So when you kind of heard a comment like that, would you say that gave you a bigger determination to kind of go out there and succeed?
No, it didn't. What it simply did is basically reinforce to me that nobody is in control of your destiny. It wasn't nice to hear 40 years ago that you're going to either end up in prison or stacking shelves. So, when I left that career teacher's advice room, I just basically said, well, it's not a matter about me proving to you that what I'm going to do. It's about proving to yourself. And
have you ever spoke to that teacher since?
What happened? No, I haven't. I mean,
no.
I can't remember which career teacher it was, but I'll tell you what happened. When I left that school in 1976, I said I'd never go back to that school unless they invited me. Anyway, fast forward to 1993, there was an article in The Guardian about me, and one of my old teachers read it, and he told me he almost choked in his cornflakes when he saw that it was Shaun Wallace, the barrister from Wembley. So they wrote to me, and they said, are you Shaun Wallace from Wembley? If you are you the person in the article in The Guardian? Would you really get in contact with us? We'd love to hear from you. So I thought to myself, well, that's an invitation to me. And when I went back to the school, I felt like sort of Gulliver going back to, when you go back to a school, the school seems to have shrunk while you've sort of grown up. But it was a really wonderful, nostalgic time for me. And there wasn't a hint of bitterness so far as I was concerned. And, most of my teachers who were there were basically standing there slack-jawed. They couldn't believe this was the same young pupil who basically said he wanted to aspire to something and, in fact, achieved it. So far as I was concerned, it was an honour to be invited back. And then what happened, 10 years later, I won Mastermind. Well, obviously, I was the most famous son of the school. And they were having a 50th anniversary celebration at the House of Lords. And I was the only student out of the 50 years they invited. And I remember sitting there eating, and I thought to myself, you know what? It just goes to show, never, ever judge a book by its cover.
And another thing which I found amazing is you were talking about the time that you auditioned to be part of the Eggheads, the BBC show, but you lost out in the final. And looking back now, it's kind of one of those things that everything happens for a reason, because The Chase is probably the biggest quiz show on TV. So it worked out so well for you.
Exactly. I mean, the book starts and finishes when I'm sitting in my car sort of lamenting the fact that I'd lost my first quiz show in 5 years. And I was playing Steely Dan's greatest hits, thinking about my life. And after listening, after the CD stopped playing, I thought to myself, you know what, Shaun, you haven't done too badly. So I thought this would make a good story. So I initially wrote it to coincide with the broadcasting of Are You an Egghead? And the reason why I didn't decide to publish it in 2009 is because they brought out the film Slumdog Millionaire, and I thought to myself, you know what, my story's going to get lost in this. So, no. So I went away and rewrote the whole book, and I thought to myself, people will be more interested, not about your game show exploits, but where you started from. So I just wrote it from start to finish, and I completed it in 2014, and guess what happened, Lewis? My computer crashed, and I didn't back it up, and I had to start all over again. Yeah.
You lost it all?
Over again. Yeah, yeah, I lost it all, and I had to start all over again. And I remember I was sort of, lamenting, people, metaphorically speaking, I was in bed for a month, sort of, the shades were closed down, and I sort of grew a sort of grey beard, and I thought to myself, you know what, the book's not get written by simply moping about. Start again, and I did.
And when it comes to writing a book, because I imagine that you must be remembering things that happened years ago that you might have nearly kind of forgotten. I guess it's a situation where, like, do you know, I can't believe that happened, or I can't believe I actually did that. So when it came to writing the book, did you like the kind of reminiscing about different things that you've done in your life?
Yeah, because I can remember my childhood going back to when I was about 4 or 5, and I'm not saying I can remember every single day, but the reason I wanted to tell the story is because my life was the way in which I've sort of progressed is a journey. And I want people to realise that I've had setbacks. I mean, you've seen in the book, I failed O-level English 5 times. I want people to realise that, if you do have setbacks in your life, you can't allow that to actually dictate your future, because your future is never behind you. It's always in front of you. And I'm not saying that I'm, a person who's done it all by myself. Obviously, you need to put the hard work and focus in yourself. But if you've got the love and support of your friends, people who really believe in you, that's the fuel which will sort of help catapult you to where you want to get to. So that's why I'm always grateful for the people who've helped me. I'm always grateful for the position I'm in now. And that's why I think it's important that if you are in a position of fame and responsibility, that you use that to help others.
And what I like about you, and you can get this just from reading the book, is you like to help other people. You're so humble in everything that you do, and you kind of you know where you are. You're lucky and you're happy and you've worked hard to get there. But you don't forget your roots, and you'll very much help other people that are starting out.
No, I got I was at a school yesterday for the school choir. It's the 3rd time that primary school has invited me, and I talked to them about the importance of chasing your own dreams and remaining focused, because I think it's important that you put the ladder of opportunity for others to climb up. Because one thing I say to young children when I see them, I said, people like me, I'm not going to be here forever. You represent the future. And they do.
And I've got to say, do you know what? I'm probably like millions of other people in the UK. I spend so much time on YouTube looking at outtakes from The Chase, and from kind of Fanny Schmaller to Dick Tingler, they are hilarious. So how much fun do you have? Do you have working with Bradley Walsh? Because you two seem to click so well.
We do. I think it's because of the fact that I'm 2 days older than Bradley. But can I make it plain? The reason why the show's a success is because from the runner right up to Bradley, we treat each other with respect. Yeah. We all get on very, very well, and it's one big happy family. And the one thing we don't take for granted is the success of the show, because without people watching it, the show wouldn't be a success. So when people see me on the street or stop me, I will always have time for them. And the one thing I do say to them, and I'm genuinely sincere when I say that, if it wasn't for your watching, the show wouldn't be a success. And I thank them from the bottom of my heart, because it's people who make you successful. They really do.
And you sometimes treat us to a bit of a sing-song on the show, which is so fun to see. You really kind of...
I mean, I can't sing, and I do that to wife, Bradley. I like singing, but I cannot sing. That's why, as I say, I do it, because I know Bradley's going to be miffed about it and sort of, really take the mickey out of me. And the one thing I also like about the show is the contestants. And, I'm the only chaser who'll go and see the contestants after the show, win or lose. I'll do that if they win to commiserate, to congratulate them, because it takes courage to face a professional quizzer like myself. And if they lose, guess what? I will still go and say congratulations, because it does take courage to face a professional quizzer.
And obviously, I know for you, it's your job to win that final chase. But have there ever been times where certain contestants have kind of said, "I'm going to use the money to do this or do that for my life," and you find it hard having to beat them, or do you just get into that mentality?
No. To be honest, I'm not interested. If it was my mum, I had to face, and no, I'm not really interested in that. Yeah. I'm there to win. And if they beat me, they beat me. But there's no way I'm going to let up. I mean, yesterday they showed a rerun of a horrendous final chase I did. And guess what? I lost fair and square. Some of the questions I just didn't know. Sometimes, you just either have a brain freeze. I'm not saying that, I'm going to be on my game all the time, but I'm on my game the vast majority of the times. And if I lose, I lose.
So it's always been my dream to have a bit of a chase with one of the chasers. So I thought it'd be fun.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a few questions, and we're going to see how many you can get right. And then I would like you, if you can get any on the spot, to ask me a few questions and see how many I can get right.
Fair enough.
Are you up for that?
Cool. That's not a problem. Yeah, absolutely.
So, on a football pitch, what stands 8 yards wide and 8 feet high?
That's the goal. That's the goal post. Yes, 8 by 8. Yeah, that's the goal.
Correct.
Let me ask you a question now. What's your favourite subject?
80s music.
What was the Human League's only #1 record in the 1980s?
Don't You Want Me, Baby?
Well, it's called Don't You Want Me, correct?
In the 2017 film The Greatest Showman, who played the star performer P.T. Barnum?
I'd say Hugh Jackman.
Correct.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you like football?
Yes.
Well, what's your football team?
Tottenham.
Tottenham. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, Tottenham beat Chelsea in the first Cockney or London FA Cup final in the 1960s. In which year?
1964.
Oh, unlucky. 1967.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you know what? The reason why I started supporting Chelsea is because my cousin, who was a big Tottenham fan, I used to really look up to him. It was the cup final in May 1967. And just to annoy him, we had a black and white TV. I said, I'm going to support the team in the dark shirts. And it was Chelsea. And we lost. We lost 2-1.
Well, I'm going to, hopefully this one's going to trick you. Which fantasy novel series features a poem which opens with the lines, "All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost"?
I'll say Lord of the Rings.
You got it again. You're just so... This is unreal. I don't think you're ever going to not get one. Maybe ask me one about Only Fools and Horses. That's my top subject.
I'll ask you one about Fools and Horses. Okay. But on the side of the three-wheeler, Brian Lovin, driven by Trotter, you've got 3 cities. London, Paris, and which other?
London, Paris... New York?
New York is the correct answer.
Thank God I got that one. And then the final one we've got for you. Who preceded Jeremy Corbyn as leader of the Labour Party?
That was Ed Miliband.
You've got it again. So the next question you can ask me can be any of your choice.
Any of my choice. Okay. Any of my choice. Okay. In which year was John Kennedy assassinated?
19... JFK...
In which year, the 1960s?
1961?
Okay, I'll make it easier. Oh, unlucky. That was the year he was inaugurated. It was 1963. The 22nd of November, 1963.
Honestly, that was so good. Again, I think I could ask you anything and you're just going to get it. It's so clever. And I was watching an interview with you and you said that everyone will be surprised how much they can actually remember.
Yes, yeah. And you know what? The only reason why I can is because I'm a professional quizzer. And remember, I'm a barrister. So I'm taught to think on my feet. I'm taught to actually try and sort of, get answers fairly quickly. But, if I was to ask you that question again, it might take you a bit longer than me, but you'd get it. So I always say to people, never, ever underestimate your intellect. Never. Because you'll be surprised that you've forgotten.
Well, Shaun, I've got to say, I'm not just saying it because you're on the show, but I genuinely mean it. I think your book will be the perfect gift for people for Christmas. It's so good.
I hope to come down to your area sometime in the new year to actually, speak to people, promote the book, and actually have a book signing. So I will be coming to your area very, very soon in the new year. And
hopefully I'll get to come and meet you and do an interview in person. We can talk about your book, Chasing a Dream. And that's out everywhere now, isn't it? You can get that on Amazon.
Yeah.
You can get it on any good bookshop.
Yeah.
Shaun, thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're a lot of fun. You're a great chaser. Yeah. And, it was just great to actually talk to you today.
And can I wish your readers a very, very Merry Christmas for 2018 and have a wonderful, wonderful New Year for 2019. And I'll come and see you soon and I love you all. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you.